The girl trapped a wild mouse and knocked it unconscious before apologizing. Then, she started to handle the mouse's body. She wrapped the chopped up meat in leaves, not to eat, but to sell. Every piece of wild mouse meat she took to the shop could be sold for 10 dal. Today, Evie caught 10 wild mice, and the shop owner gave her 100 dal. According to the prices in this world, 20 dal is enough to buy bread for a whole day. So, Evie's net income for the day was 80 dal, which, even for an adult, was quite a lot, let alone for an 8-year-old girl. Most children at her age can't even afford their own living, yet Evie was already able to save money. Evie was actually a tamer of magical creatures, and she had a slime as her familiar. It was the weakest slime, but a rare breed. Many people go their entire lives without ever seeing one. Though Evie didn't yet understand all its abilities, she knew that slimes like this were difficult to keep because they only ate healing potions and would not touch any other food. One day, Evie had good luck and caught 25 wild mice, earning 250 dal. She was also very familiar with the lady who sold bread. The lady pitied Evie and would always give her extra bread. Evie really liked this village and thought it would be nice to live there forever. One day, while outside the village, Evie discovered a bounty notice with her name on it. The reward was a staggering 500 dal. She entered the village and noticed mercenaries cooking at the village entrance, including some who had once hunted her. They must have been the ones who posted the bounty. Evie was afraid they would recognize her, but luckily, after cutting her hair short, she now looked like a boy. The two mercenaries didn't recognize her. However, as soon as she reached the meat stall, she saw her bounty posted there as well. Terrified, Evie didn't even dare to sell the meat. She noticed her bounty was also posted at the bread stall. The kind lady made Evie's favorite bread and offered it to her for free. But Evie, too scared to take it, ran off. She walked until she reached a place with no one around, and only then did she let herself cry. It was all because of those bounty posters. She couldn't return to this beautiful village. Now, all she could do was search for another village to live in. Evie arrived at a small river and filled her cup with water. Nearby, there was a wild fruit tree with fruits ready to be eaten. However, as she approached the tree, she realized it was alive and had consumed many people. Terrified, she froze, and in the next moment the carnivorous tree struck her arm. It was only then that Evie remembered she needed to escape, but she had already been poisoned. She managed to run a few steps before her strength gave out. She thought she was really going to die this time, but then, the slime jumped onto her poisoned arm and began absorbing the poison. As she felt the poison leave her body, Evie began to remember her childhood. Back then, she had awakened her skill as a tamer of beasts, but because she had no star, the whole village hated her. Her parents no longer loved her, and her brother had kicked her out. Evie had begged her sister for help, but her sister now hated her. Her brother grabbed her hand and dragged her out, throwing her on the ground. He told her to get out. Evie was blamed by the villagers, and even the children threw stones at her. The village chief declared that Evie was a witch who would bring disaster to the village and planned to burn her alive. Evie fled from the village, but at just 5 years old, she couldn't survive in the wild.